What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Junction Podcast. We're here for episode 110. This many. As usual. How's it going,
funny
Mark?
enough, there were a whole 100 episodes ahead of the Anime Junction cast.
We are,
Sorry,
we?
I was messing with it last week, so it was past week, so that's how I know.
Yeah, we got 10 episodes of the Anime Junction cast. Cool. And they're all up on audio. We were just talking about that before.
Yeah, both here on the Junction Network YouTube as well as all the major podcast audio platforms.
Yes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast. What else did we talk about? I mean, Amazon. It's not on as many, but it's on quite a few. I know that, right?
Yeah.
It's like 12.
Spotify by far is Spotify and Apple, like the two biggest, the most popular ones it's on right now.
Yeah.
But
which is cool. Good stuff.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Check over the Junction Network. Got a bunch of other anime related content that's in the process of coming out. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, for sure. There's a plug right there. Yeah, so we got quite a bit going on this week. So we'll go ahead and get started. We've got, what do we got first? I'm trying to multitask here. So we got,
I guess a quick little shout out. You just had your Chromatic video come out over on the Game Junction YouTube page. Definitely check that out.
Yeah, that's a good start there. So I got it here. We talked about it. The embargo went live. I think Monday or Tuesday, and yeah. So you can see the video there now. I'm able to openly talk about it, but I'm gonna get a little more in depth and show off stuff there. A lot of people are going to be using EverDrive for it, so you don't have to buy a bunch of carts. So I did. Catalog there that there is an issue with some games where you can't hit the reset button, so you've got to hard turn off, turn back on. But overall, I think it's a great device, so definitely check that video out. Good video. Proud of that video. Really is. So cool stuff there. But all right, yeah. So I guess we're gonna start off this week. Besides the chromatic stuff, we've got Steam Deck wins Best Gaming Hardware at the Golden Joystick Awards, which,
those awards don't mean jack. We saw it was on their Game of the Year nomination.
Yeah. Don't care too much about the Joystick Awards, but I guess that's cool. I mean, we're both interested in the Steam Deck. We've talked about it quite a bit, and I think it's something that I'm going to wait for the next iteration because we know it's around the corner, and then I'll probably grab it.
Yeah, because I know on top of that, just because you brought up the game stick, I for sure was getting a healthy amount of crap for saying, Balatro didn't deserve to be on the Game of the Year.
I literally just saw...
People are they're 100% for it or they're 100% against it. There is no in between with that game.
I just saw so obviously, Spawn Wave, right? Like he just tweeted out earlier. He's like, people are only saying that if they haven't played Balatro, and as soon as they play that, their opinion changes. That's what he said.
Because I went and got it and I played it. I'm like, I think it's a good game, but Game of the Year? No, I still don't agree with it.
It doesn't scream Game of the Year to me, but I get
I don't think it is.
It should win an award. There's like, what, 100 awards that get, for
something
games?
like
some crazy amount of awards. So like it could definitely win like an indie game award or like for another category or something, but for Game of the Year,
I was like, there's other games that deserve to be there. There's other games that should be there over a DLC that I know we kind of harped on.
Yeah, I mean, like Stellar Blade got kind of
shafted. That's what I'll say. It's not the best game ever, but considering the down year that we had, I still think it deserves a shot compared to everything else that came out. But at this point, all I care about now is the content creator.
Oh yeah,
because you're not to VTubers, but Usada Pecora from Hololive.
No idea.
100%. That's the full weight of all I care about at this point for the Game Awards.
Yeah. So all I care about is the announcements. I don't care about the awards.
She's if you don't know, she has like a nickname of like, she's like a war criminal.
Interesting.
That's the type of persona that she plays in Hololive.
War criminal. Okay. All right.
it makes sense if you actually.
Well, he did just shoot missiles at Russia, so it's kind of relevant.
Not really, but
no, not really. You're right. Let's see. We got McDonald's is bringing Mark.
I had to put it on there. I'm sorry.
McDonald's is bringing back the McRib. I just started reading them.
Yeah, maybe the McRib is back. Let's go.
Let me ask you. So I don't mind it, but do you actually like it?
I get it once. I'm like,
I get it once.
Kind of tastes like crap. It's not real meat, but it's like it's more of like a meme at this point about the McRib that comes back December 3rd in the U.S.
You know damn well that this is not allowed in Europe. They do not have a McRib.
Food's not allowed in Europe. Don't worry, RFK Jr. is gonna fix that.
Yeah,
he's your new food
Red
czar.
Dye 40.
I've seen some funny memes with one of them where it's like it's RFK walks in from Inglorious Bastards. He's like, "You're hiding fat people into the floorboards, aren't you?" I'm like, I'm sorry, it's just funny.
I will say I am genuinely I do agree with a lot that he has to say about that stuff.
The FDA, the USDA, that
because it's the truth.
It's banned in Europe.
It's banned in a lot of countries, not just like European territories. We're talking like
a lot of dyes and stuff like Red 40 and stuff like that. Like you look at like
Japan
Fanta.
And Asian countries, some of those as well.
Yeah, but like if you buy Fanta in the US and Europe, it looks completely different because they're not allowed to use certain dyes and stuff in the food or
what's
their drinks.
Crazy is that those dyes are used in like vitamins and stuff like that. So have you ever had like a coated vitamin that is like a collar?
I've never really taken vitamins.
Okay, well, like multivitamins, for instance, one I used to take, you had red dye in it. Like I was looking at the back of it, and I'm like, I mean, it's like in vitamin stuff that's supposed to be healthy for you.
I think that's like the big one, but it's like a lot of those dyes be banned because they're like linked to like health disease and cancer and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely not good. But the McRib is back. Then we also I didn't really know what to bring up for the Black Friday stuff. There's a lot of deals out there. I just wanted to kind of bring that up.
Yeah, you're starting to get like a trickle of some stuff coming in.
Yeah, they're already out. I grabbed a few things today on Amazon, one thing on Best Buy.
I know it's out there because we talked about it before we went live, and they just had the DLC Studded Blade. One of the big games, it's like $20 off, so instead of $70, it's $50, which seems to be both digital that I saw and you rebought the physical.
QVC had it for 40 off. And I missed it with the code. I missed it. When I clicked on it, sold out. All gone. Sold all their copies. Like, dang it. That would have been a really good deal.
Yeah, right.
And I'm rebuying it. I already had it. I've never just had a game go missing, so I have no idea. I still haven't found it, but that's the thing about physical, man.
Yeah.
One downside. Okay, so this one is interesting. I don't know if you have anything to say about this because I don't know a lot about Web3. But I thought it was interesting. It's from a different website too. It was something completely different than something I normally pull up. But it says games are poised to surpass console gaming by 2030. And I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, I'm looking through here. And it says crypto Web3 gaming taps into the cryptocurrency decentralized blockchain hype. That is what separates it from traditional games. I mean, to me, that sounds kind of crazy. This seems like a crazy statement.
It does. It seems like it's not even really all that relevant. Maybe on the indie scene, but as a whole, I find that hard to believe. To be fair, then again, I'm not a big fan of the whole blockchain to begin with. But
yeah, I don't know. Much about it. I don't really get it. I mean, I get the concept, but I don't get it like people do. I mean, I know a dude that bought like a rig for crypto mining, and he obviously never got anywhere with it because he's still in the same place, doing the same thing. Unless
he hopped on it like a decade plus ago, you're a little late to the game at this point. At this point, like you need like massive warehouses full of like miners to get anywhere.
I don't get it. I don't understand what the mining is. He tried to explain it to me. I don't get it.
It's essentially using like
you get free GPUs money
to do complex mathematical equations.
You got a 4090 for this mining rig. You got a 4090 in like 2022.
Yeah, he's way too late to the mine. To have one rig, it's gonna take him forever just to get like a single Bitcoin, essentially.
Yeah, how much is one Bitcoin worth?
Like it's around. I can pull it up right now.
Some crazy amount of money now.
I don't think it's. Oh no, yeah, it went up crazy right after the election. So. It's sitting at $98,000 right now.
That's wild.
It's back on the 21st. It hit 98, and it's kind of just been sitting there.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. It's not, I don't know what Web3 I don't really get the concept of that. So,
but to be fair, like when you talk about crypto, like Bitcoin's like the only one that really actually matters and carries any weight.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not really I don't think it's ever going to be a viable like alternative to like, like the US dollar or the
how is that
Japanese
going to
yen
surpass
or Chinese yuan or something like that.
these
It's
big
never
AAA
going
games?
to replace it.
It says $23.9 billion is what they're talking about. Billion. I don't know about all that.
I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be games there, but it feels like it's more on the indie side or the NFT route and stuff like that, which is a little bit more scammy.
Yeah. So we found out about the Silent Hill 2 stuff with the PS5 Pro had some issues. Like I went in depth with Digital Foundry's kind of research and what they found on it, and it's getting an update patch, so all the issues with that are getting fixed. But it looks like there's a ton of stuff in the patch. Fixed issues with counting achievements, fixed graphic glitches on PlayStation 5 Pro, then like a list of other stuff on PS5 and Steam.
Yeah, because just the technical stuff for Steam was like it fixed interface between saving a game and properly performing vibrations on the controller, improved range and step for mouse sensitivity, mouse input issues with games. So it seemed like the technical stuff had to do with the input, like the mouse and controller stuff, what they fixed.
Which is good. I'm glad they patched that.
Yeah, and then it looks like most of the actual gameplay, it's pretty much the same thing. Like, they added some toolpick for something. They fixed some mannequin stuff, just general gameplay glitches.
Yeah, there's like 20 things listed there. So there's quite a bit in that patch. Looks like it's a pretty big patch, so that's good stuff. And my assumption is there's going to be a load of patches coming out for the PS5 Pro stuff, kind of trickling out. I think it's just going to be
once it launches, and they're like, oh yeah, these are all the problems we need to go back and fix.
Yeah. And now that they've got a little bit beefier hardware, I think that some of these games are going to get some patches.
To be fair, some of these they probably are already aware of before the game comes out. It's just it has to come out on this date, and we don't have enough time to fix it in the process. So about a few days or a week later, the patches come out and they're already in the process of fixing them, because some of these they have to kind of be already aware of, but it's like, is it in a playable state at launch, and we'll just kind of like fix it in like the few months to make it fully playable.
PlayStation.
I mean, it is what it is as far as gaming in the modern age.
Yeah, for sure. So I found this one interesting. Virtua Fighter gets first PC release in 27 years. That's crazy. Started back in 1993. So this is for Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, which is coming to Steam. Make it the first Virtua Fighter game to be released on PC in that 27-year mark. This initially came out in 2006. This will have a vast number of improvements compared to the previous releases on consoles. So I was looking through here. The last Virtua Fighter game to come out on PC was Virtua Fighter 2.1 back in 1997, which is crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's a long time.
How a long-running series like this has no PC ports at all. This is kind of interesting. But yeah,
I was pulling up some of the you're looking at some of the graphics for like Virtual Fighter PC, I think the 93 version. Oh, the fact that you can see like the polygons on the characters themselves is just crazy. Yeah, it was very polygonal back in the day. Cause it was on like Sega 32X. I can like count like all 64 polygons on this one character model.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you really could. Yeah, very interesting. But this is an updated version of Final Showdown for Virtua Fighter 5, which got like, several different sort of releases. But looks like Ultimate Showdown changes and features will be retained for Revo, such as character customization and costumes. Crazy that this game came out in 2006, and it looks good.
But yeah, they go back and actually fixed it up, cleaned it up.
Genuinely looks good. So. Yeah.
Hey, and it's got your almighty 60 FPS at 40K support.
40K? What you just said?
No, 4K. Sorry, we're not there
yet. Not quite.
You need like a whole like side of a building probably to have all the pixels on a display like that.
I did see. I'll bring this up too. There's a rumor that the 5090 is going to cost $2,000. It came out today.
Wouldn't surprise me.
$2,000. I mean, it makes sense because 4090 right now is like $1,500.
Yeah. So it's an extra 500 for newer tech.
Crazy. $2,000 for a graphics card.
That graphics card costs more than my whole computer and monitor setup and keyboard and mouse. Like it's about the equivalent of all my entire PC setup combined.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. A lot of money. Okay, so we got one Nintendo Switch Online game, which I found very interesting. Just one. They just randomly dropped Donkey Kong Land for the Game Boy, which is a really good game, but just kind of random.
Does it still have that green background that the Game Boy does?
Yeah.
Did they get rid of that in the Nintendo Switch Online?
You can play with a green background. I think that's how it is standard. From what I saw.
You need to have the authentic experience.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's how I'd play it. I like that green background. Puke green.
Yeah, you're thinking
nostalgic about
the
it.
option to what if I play this on the Game Boy Color? I
think you had that, don't you? Can't you switch filters?
I don't know.
Nintendo Switch Online
forever. But I mean, to be fair, all the Game Boy games could be played on a Game Boy Color. I'm pretty sure, or most of them could be.
They all could. Yeah.
Yeah. Which and that didn't have the puke green background.
Yeah, it took away that, and then it gave it some color. I never had the original
Game Boy, but I red, blue,
you
yellow
never had
on the
original
Game Boy Color. No, my first Game Boy was Game Boy Color.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
And those games, they didn't have the puke green, but they had a solid shade of yellow or a shade of blue or red over across the whole game.
2 original Game Boys because I broke one. My grandma bought me another. I got really lucky. My grandma. The only reason I had any portable consoles at all is because my grandma. Only reason.
The Game Boy Color came out in 98?
No, Game Boy Color came out in 93.
Yeah, it came out. 98? It came out in 98.
Oh, did it? The original Game Boy?
No, the original Game Boy I thought came out in 89 or something like that.
Yeah, 89.
I thought it came out in late 80s.
89. Yeah, I think that's when it came out. Yeah, Game Boy Color 98. Because it lasted almost 10 years.
Yeah, it came out in April of 89, the original Game Boy.
Cool.
Because we knew it had almost a decade-long lifespan, essentially. It was out for forever.
Yeah.
Which is an eternity for handhelds nowadays. But back then, that was just technology advanced a whole lot slower.
No, it really did. Really did.
This kills me because I was talking with a kid that was born in 2006. I think he's a senior right now. About some stuff because he played the older games. I'm sitting there like, yo, man, it's crazy that you'll never have this experience like what we did growing up. Going from the SNES was out when I was a baby because I was born in '93, but growing up with the SNES, the 64. But when 2003 came around, because I think I just turned 10 2003. When the GameCube came out and I first watched the original Metroid Prime graphics, because that's the first game we played on it. Blew your mind away going from the SNES to the 64 to the GameCube. I think that 64 to the GameCube era jump, going to the PS2, the original Xbox, was the biggest and different, most monumental jump in technological graphical fidelity ever, and you're never going to see that again.
The argument is seeing that and then Super Mario 64 and Nintendo 64 from the SNES to the 64. I don't know if you can beat that leap to 3D. That's
I didn't see him
jumping out of the pipe.
Jump.
Oh my god, that was mind blowing. Both were mind blowing to see.
Yeah, but I guess I'll say this because you didn't have it on the GameCube era, the Xbox PS2 era. Because when you deal with the 64 graphics, there's a lot of you can tell it's a flat image that's trying to convey depth, but it looks like it's like a wall poster on some games.
Yeah,
so it's a 3D environment, but there's very obvious limitations to where when you get to the GameCube era, you can actually have proper depth. You don't have walls of very obvious fake trees. You actually have something that looks actually like a tree or something.
Where it's a 2D tree.
Yeah, 2D tree, like a 2D wall. That marks the edge of the map on a 3D environment.
Yeah.
And it's just the same thing repeating over and over. I'm thinking of a Jet Force Gemini just because it's the most recent game that I played, and that did that same thing. The whole walls of the map were just the same thing over and over. If it was a rock wall, that's fine. It's not too bad. If you're in a forest or something like that, it's just a bunch of trees, and it's it's iconic for the age. Not saying they didn't have like a handful of trees in the map, but there were like limitations as far as like trying to like perceive depth and stuff like that. They just didn't have the ability to render it and stuff.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Both are such big jumps and such big leaps that like you just can't see now. Like the PS4 to the PS5 jump is obviously there, but it's like it's never going to be as big of a jump as what we saw ever again. No, I mean, the only thing that could be bigger is a truly immersive Sword Art Online game where you're really, really in it. Like we've got the VR and it's there, but that's the only other thing I could think of that could ever be as big of a jump again.
I don't think if you can, the only way you have that big of a jump is you can actually have a true VR game where, you know,
that's what I'm saying, like a Sword Art Online
like an AR, you don't have a screen up, but like your mind and body is actually in the game. Like you're laying down with like a headset on, kind of like SEO, and you're like,
I'll be real, I'd never want that to happen.
You know, with I don't know, man, with
I'm sorry, bro.
Elon's Neuralink stuff, it's right around the corner.
It's true. You see the first guy control games, the way they control. He says he's faster than people playing mouse, keyboard, or controller.
Because your brain can just do stuff faster.
It's doing it ahead. He's like one thing ahead of what he is seeing.
Your extremities, you know, there's latency from your brain to your arms, and so your hands can only move so fast.
Yeah, that's crazy, crazy.
But
stuff.
I mean, we're talking about that. I'm like, that's crazy that. Probably realistically, you're never going to have that kind of jump where it's just like you actually have legitimate hype for a new console because it's going to look so different from the one before.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the PS5 to the PS5 Pro, like obviously it's there, but now you're looking at like these minimal spec jumps. You know, even with PC gaming, like the 4090 to the 5090 is going to be, you know, probably a leap, but how big?
It's just like more pixels on screen. You can render more stuff. It can process stuff faster, so it can be more immersive. But like from like 93 to like 2003, 2005, like that was like a peak decade of graphical jumps in gaming, from purely 2D sliders to full on 3D environments.
Yeah, it was such a crazy thing to see. I mean, it really was. Thinking back to it, what a good time that was, you know. I didn't get my GameCube
having
until
this whole imagination running wild. Like it was crazy.
I got my GameCube 2 years before the Wii came out, so I got the silver bundle. I never got like a launch. I never got it at launch. I played at Matthew's house, and I think I played some stuff with you. You both had it before me, but I got it 2 years before the Wii came out. But I did get the Wii at launch, and then I was still getting GameCube games when the Wii came out because it was backwards compatible.
Because it was still backwards compatible at launch, which is a really nice thing about the original Wii.
Yeah, like Twilight Princess, for instance, the better version is the GameCube version, you know, because you don't have the forced motion controls.
Here's a concept that I think would sell personal, and it doesn't affect it, but with like the Switch 2, how easy would it to be have essentially a disc drive add-on so you could go back and play your GameCube, your Wii, and Wii U games?
Wouldn't that be nice? That'll never happen.
Like you're saying, like outside of the actual emulation process, like the actual drive itself.
How would that happen? The dock would have to be the drive.
Well, you're thinking like what they do now with like the digital version of like the PS5 and stuff like that. It's just a USB
and like an optional add-on. Yeah,
it's like an optical drive off to the side, not part of the actual thing, but an add-on you could get that, like, hey, if you still have your discs,
it's got an attachment.
We have like built-in, because they're already in the process of doing emulation with the older games. We're not at the GameCube yet, but
no, yet you know they're emulating Wii. They're emulating Wii games at the Nintendo Museum.
Yeah,
so we are at
the
GameCube
ability to emulate like Wii U, GameCube games. You just need an optical drive and have the emulation software in your console. You plug it in, and then you can just play your games. Like the technology's there.
It's there, yeah, for sure. It'd be neat. It'd be a neat concept to have. Like, I just don't know how it would work. I mean, Nintendo makes a portable dock system.
They make a damn clock that's like $100. You tell me you can't just put the effort into something,
look,
knowing it's not going to make $1 million, but like, you know, there's a niche market out there for it. You talk about wanting to combat piracy. Yeah, you got the clock. You talk about combating piracy. That's an excellent way to get rid of it. People don't have to emulate and get your game illegally.
Yeah.
They still have the physical games. They can just play it there. But I mean, having the option to still play the game via Nintendo Switch Online,
be nice,
should be an option as well.
There was a rumor that came out today. I don't know if you could pull it up on X by chance, but I saw a rumor today that Nintendo DS is supposed to be coming to Switch Online, which would be cool. And I mean, it's been done already. The Castlevania collection, it's got the DS games. It's all the DS games, and they did it right. They did it right, and it's very playable.
You say that the first thing that came up when I Googled Nintendo DS on X was Nintendo of America yesterday. Was 20 years when the original DS launched in North America.
We should have brought that up, and then we should have brought up about Donkey Kong because that happened this week, and then so did what else? There's another anniversary that happened. The Xbox 360 today is 19 years old.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy because you think of like a lot of the stuff that was in the old DS, like, the whole Picto chat, you go to Walmart, download demos.
Yeah.
The Nintendo DS online thing, like that stuff was so.
I can't really forgot about the downloading demos.
We talked about it before and stuff like that because obviously, you're playing like your hunters on it, like the Mario Kart Online and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But just hey, you're within like 20 feet, the DSs can like talk to each other wirelessly just to do the Picto chat. Or, hey, I've got a version of the game
so badly for PictoChat to be online because I knew that the DS was going to be an online handheld. I wanted it so bad.
There's a very obvious moderation issue that would come into play with that.
There's a very obvious reason why they didn't do it. I mean, look at like the Wii U with the Miiverse. It was filled with pictures of long things.
But I mean, because you think about it, because it was still the era like where it's like, hey, if you had like one of us just needs to have a barman game. And you can play online with somebody else. DS doesn't have it. Obviously, there's limitations if we don't have the same game, but you could still play a multiplayer locally. Just one person having a version of a game, like a limited multiplayer and stuff like that, which just thought was like a really neat thing for the DS at the time. That I don't remember anybody else doing it. I only ever had the DS. I don't think the PSP or the Vita did stuff like that.
What did what?
Like you just need one person to have like a barman game.
Oh no!
But the other person that you can link up and still play the game, or at least a limited version of the game together.
Yeah, because they had like
wireless
the
connection,
multi-cart play, and then the single cart play, which is really cool. You're always limited on the single cart play, but it was still cool.
But the option was there to play.
Yeah, it was there, and it was cool.
You and your friend could play together and like, oh, I like this game. I want to go get it to actually play the full game or the full multiplayer. And stuff
Bomberman Land is one I think of. What else? There was the Mario Party for DS.
I can still just remember the whole like when the game starts up and it says Nintendo DS.
Yeah,
noise that would be there like that. It's just so iconic.
Yeah, I know.
Nintendo's good with iconic music.
They
for, like,
are
their consoles.
They are very much. And then the Switch didn't sound very good, obviously.
But you get the point.
Yeah, so we've also got a little word on the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3. So the director commented on mini games. So I'm actually playing it actively right now. Rebirth. I started Rebirth when it came out, dropped it because so much stuff came out. Now I'm getting back into it. It's kind of what I'm playing right now because I just want to finish it. I just want to get through it because I know Part 3 is around the corner. But Naoki Hamaguchi believes Part 3 of the remake should take a different approach to minigames. Fans of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth had a lot of mixed feelings about the title's abundance of content, especially the minigames. I will say this. As I'm playing it, I'm at this part where you join, or you don't join. You put on the military costumes in the game, and you have to kind of fit in. Well, when they go to do the march, you have to do a timed event thing. So you got to hit X when the circle, lands into the spot, and then it does like its rhythm game thing. It is pretty funny. It does like there's a lot of like mini games in it, kind of interesting. It kind of makes the experience a little diverse, if you will, I guess. There's a lot there, so I'll definitely be interested to see. Kind of what happens. Bit of a long article, but it says, while many fans enjoyed the variety of mini games in Rebirth, others felt the varied activities were a little more than filler. Director's intent was to provide new experiences every time players entered a new region, but some gamers felt the experience was uneven. Queen's Blood was a runaway success, however, with many fans even comparing it to The Witcher's 3 wildly successful Gwent. So Queen's Blood is kind of similar to Gwent. It's like
Gwent's a really fun game.
It's basic. It's similar to that. I still haven't completely grasp it. Like there's this part I'm at where I just got to this area and you have to battle these twins. So you got to win back to back. So I beat the first twin and then I get to the second one. He's like overpowered. I'm like, I can't beat him. I tried something like 17 times in a row. I played 17 games of this in a row and I got so tired of it. Would it be like
a card game? Do you have to like build your card deck?
You build a deck, yeah.
It could be that thing. You just need to build a stronger deck.
Well, I just now, I think for the first time, bought new cards. So we'll see what happens. But it's interesting.
You say that because I saw somebody comment underneath that article, like the ones that this guy really liked from like a GR member or something like that. Queen Blood, Chobo Racing, the G Bike, and Run Wild.
There's a lot of different mini games.
So it's probably, but the more you have, the more that they're good, and the more that are gonna be kind of trash.
Yeah, some are doing some are okay.
Yeah, because you brought up like the Witcher with Gwent.
Yeah,
but like that's the only mini game in the game and stuff like that. And you get more cards as you go on, but they only focused on one, so they could make it a really good fun game.
I guess like the military thing, I tell you, it's not necessarily like a mini game. It's like part of the story. It's not like
a quick time thing.
Yeah, it's a quick time event, but you gotta like, it's like a rhythm because you know they're doing the military march and he's like spinning around, throwing the gun. You know,
I'm not the biggest fan of quick time events, to be fair. Unless the
I'm not either.
Designed around that like Telltale, like I was like,
I'm not either.
Just do the cutscene.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm not looking forward to this final part I have to do where I got to gather all these military members and then lead the march, and you have to do it all correctly. I'm not a big fan of that, but
and at the end you conquer and you take over the Senate and you become the Senate.
Exactly. Yeah. So we got this one we talked about briefly before the podcast. So Steam is looks like they're going to be getting a little bit stricter on some of their policies regarding like season passes.
Yeah, so their official, this is coming actually from Steam, their official season pass guideline. It must include the following information: a complete list of all DLC included in the pass, i.e. listing each of the 4 DLCs included in the pass, a basic description of the content that's included in each DLC. For example, the first content release might be some named expansion, new area to explore, 2 new weapons, new enemies, something like that, as well as expected release date for each DLC, quarter and year, i.e. January to March 2025 or season/year is acceptable. Of course, a date that's more precise is also fine, so like June 2025 or June 1st, 2025, which not a big update, but I think it's
good.
Steam, I've always promoted that Steam is good for the user and less beneficial to the publisher. And this is just another thing. It's just like, no, like if you're going to do this, that's fine. You need to be precise and clear. Like how many expansions are there going to be? What are people getting out of it? And when are these going to come out? You can't just be like, hey, it's here coming whenever type thing. I think it's just more clarification, more openness with the developer to the player that Steam is requiring.
One thing I wonder about this is, what about the games where you get those free random updates? They're like free with additional stuff, and you don't even know it's coming out.
This is exclusive to season passes.
Okay, so
there's no season pass. It's not the same thing.
Okay, all right, cool. Okay, so yeah, like, I think it's good. It's user friendly, you know, obviously.
Yeah, because like when, just because it's one of the examples that this Game Rant had for Star Wars Outlaws, the season pass member app was an exclusive mission, a character pack, 2 cosmetic bundles, story pack 1, story pack 2. It requires like the exclusive mission, the character that's on launch day. Story pack 1 with cosmetics. This is fall 2024. Story pack 2, spring 2025. They're requiring a quarter and a year at the very least for when this expansion. Essentially, it's just forcing that. I keep thinking like see through. That's not the right word that I'm trying to think of.
See through
the clarity as far as to the players, like, hey, you're buying this is when everything's dropping, which I can't speak. was always an option, but it wasn't like mandatory. And now it seems like Steam is going to be like making this for like
wonder what game causes. Because a game causes a particular game. Like, all right, we gotta bite down on this. We're doing this way. I like Steam for that reason. Very user friendly, all about the buyer.
It's all about the buyer, the user experience. We're not here to benefit the publisher. We're here for the user. It's why Steam is such a popular.
One thing platform. I wish they would make the games DRM free. I mean, that's one problem with Steam. It's my one problem.
I mean, Steam could make that move, and they're just kind of like, well, you don't have a choice.
Aren't they?
And the publishers aren't going to go away from Steam. It's too popular.
They would buy.
Everybody.
They would win out GOG users for days if they did that. I mean, like I love that GOG has that, and so I have a large collection of games on there digitally. For that reason, that's one of the reasons. Also, because a lot of Amazon games are free and for GOG.
Yeah, but Steam is just, it has more feature than anything else as well. You have like the huge Steam sales. It's just no user's gonna completely go away from Steam. They've tried it before, like with EA and Ubisoft, but their platforms kind of failed, and they eventually came back to Steam because a lot of people that are on Steam and don't prefer to go to other platforms, even though you can still download them. They don't like them, like with Epic. Like you don't have like user reviews and stuff like that. There's no.
I don't like that.
It's not refined for the users and stuff like that people just don't like, and there's no incentive to go over there. Especially if it's gonna be a timed exclusive or the game's already on Steam, they're gonna go to Steam. Like there's a huge percentage of PC gamers that they're gonna be on Steam. They're not going away from it. So even if you went away from the DRM, nobody else is gonna follow. But they're not gonna go their own way.
I feel like they should go in that direction. I think it would be good.
Yeah, and we kind of already know, like, DRM, it's just a speed bump to piracy. It doesn't actually do anything to stop it.
It's stupid.
Games get cracked within like 24 hours or like within a week of it coming out anyways.
Absolutely nothing but tarnishing your game. I mean, it literally affects the game.
Yeah, it makes the games run slower, technically, run a little bit worse.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Really dumb. Never understood it. Think it's stupid. Don't support it.
Maybe you have to appeal to Gabe directly.
To who?
Gabe, he's like the owner of Steam.
Oh, Gabe.
Gavin, I don't know if I'm butchering his name. For sure.
Shout out Gavin Gabe. Hey, we need that DRM free. It happens soon. All right, so we got this one you could speak a little more on, but Dragon Quest 3 remake
more than what I had.
Huge sale. Oh, you haven't?
I was going to yesterday, but I forgot the game when I was in my hotel, so I couldn't play it.
So it looks like it sold 820,000, essentially 822,000 physical copies in its first week in Japan, which is crazy, making it the best-selling game in the country in 2024. That's wild. There's so many games this year. The best-selling.
It just
crazy.
It's a popular game series. It really is, especially in Japan.
It's huge. I mean, people don't understand. This series is huge. I mean, we obviously had the Dragon Warrior games for NES and stuff like that, and that's what it came out here as. But I've been following the series since real early. I was renting the games, Dragon Warrior 4. I mean, it's just crazy to me how big the series really is in Japan. People really don't understand. Like, this competes with Pokemon, for instance, which is also massive in Japan.
And this came out yesterday.
And this is a remaster.
Sales. But the bulk of these 641,000 of these sales were on the Switch, which makes sense.
I mean,
Nintendo. Like the PS5 had a fraction of it.
It's the home for, and they love their handhelds. Japan loves handhelds.
It's popular. So it's by default, it's gonna make sense. You have to commute 2 hours to Dragon Quest. School. You gotta play it on your Switch.
Yeah, for sure.
They said it became the number best-selling game in Japan, obviously for 2024. This is the biggest launch in Japan since Tears of the Kingdom, and the biggest launch for Square Enix in Japan since Dragon Quest 11 in 2017.
Wow, wild, and it's a remake. It's crazy.
Of like a 30-year-old game.
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, I know you briefly talked about it last week, but kind of what do you think overall with what you played? Where do you kind of stand with it? Is it something you're like, oh, I really want to finish this game. Like I want to play through this really
like
bad.
It plays the same way. It's like it looks like the old game. It's just, your characters are still the pixel sprites, but it's a 3D environment. Obviously you can't move the camera around, but it feels like a more vibrant, like what you would expect things to look like when you played it, back in like in the 90s for a lot of these 2D games where it was just so pixelated you couldn't really tell what a lot of stuff really was.
Right.
Or it's just kind of vague based off the old CRT and the pixels. Like it just looks like a really more vibrant world now. But essentially it plays largely the same way. Obviously there's a few quality of life upgrades here and there, but largely it's like this is like the ideal way if you're going to go for these old games, this HD 2D style remake. I think all old JRPGs should do it. It fits far
what
better.
did it first? What was the big game that popularized it again? Octopath Traveler, right?
Yeah, I think that's really what stylized it.
Because I still not played a sequel to that. I haven't played the second one.
But yeah, it's the same style. The whole it's the 2D.
It's like a 3D 2D. Yeah, it's so interesting. It's beautiful. It looks beautiful.
Essentially, yeah, you're taking the old 90s style JRPG, but you're making the world more 3D and vibrant. But the camera's still there. Your characters still have that pixel art to them.
Yeah, but you got that 3D environment. It's really cool and it looks good and it meshes well together. I'm excited to pick it up. I need to grab it. I was hoping there would be a Black Friday sale on it, but I haven't seen anything yet.
With the game just coming out,
it just came out, so yeah. And I actually looked at Walmart today and didn't even see it there. So for either system, I was like, I want to grab it for Switch for sure. But I did want to shout out that the Marvel Fighting Arcade Classic Collection came out today. I gotta go pick up at GameStop. I didn't pick it up. Today's the launch day. I should have picked it up, but I knew I wasn't going to get to play it today, so just didn't grab it. But I did want to shout out that did come out today as of this recording.
Shout out, baby.
Hey, little shout out. Hey, mama. All right, so what we got next? We've got
this is weird. Apparently, Elon Musk is the top Diablo 4 player in the world.
Diablo
right now.
4 sucks too.
Yeah, apparently he had a record clear time of 152 in the game's toughest challenge. It's from what I understand because it's published back on the 20th.
He tweets 50 times a day.
Yeah, but apparently he's just waiting for his run to be officially accepted on the leaderboard. But if it's officially accepted, or assuming it is, he would be the top player, Diablo 4 player, which I think is insane.
He's such a smart man. I mean, dude's incredibly smart, so it makes sense. It's just wild how he has everywhere. Time. Dude, he tweets
Doge now
at least
Diablo 4.
50 times a day. No joke. Dude is on top of it. There was a thing I saw yesterday where somebody was like calculating all of his tweets and something about like it's progressed up 175% since he bought it or something like that. Like he's like, I get paid. He tweeted out yesterday, I get paid to tweet out. He retweeted that person's tweet about the percentage being like 175%. And he's like, I get paid for this now. Like, dude, he's like a billionaire. Why are you worried about it? But hey, whatever. He enjoys it. That's cool. I mean, Diablo 4 sucks, but
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, there's an audience for it. I think there are some stuff that have been fixed, but it's also just not the style of the game. Like I played Diablo 3, but I never really got into it. I played it more for the story, and I just did my one run through the game.
I like Diablo 3 a lot. I think it got better with the other expansions.
Yeah, but it's just not a game I'm gonna. It's not the lighter style game that I'm gonna keep going back to.
That's fair enough. So we got, according to a new rumor, Nintendo is, and this is from Stealth40K on Twitter. Nintendo is potentially preparing up to 7 million Switch 2 units to avoid any shortages at launch. This is 2.5x the amount of Switches that were available at launch. So this is good news. This is what everybody should do.
Yeah, so just to
beat the scalpers.
Stealth40K posted this, but this is also coming from a Nintendo Life article.
Yeah, Nintendo Life. Yeah, so shout out to them.
You're assuming there's some legitimacy to this rumor if it's coming from a Nintendo related website.
Yeah, Nintendo Life's pretty accurate and pretty on point, and You usually
which would make
trust what
sense.
they
This
say.
game is going to sell buku at launch.
Oh, it's
like
gonna
the
be
pre-orders
crazy.
are gonna go crazy.
Yeah, so 2.5x, that should help battle scalpers, but my thought is it's still going to be there. There's still not going to be enough for demand.
Yeah, because they did notice Nintendo reported sales of 2.74 million Switches by the end of March 2017. So it sold nearly 3 million in its opening month alone.
Wild.
Which I'm assuming is the worldwide number. So yeah, maybe that's why they want to wait. I don't know. 100%. Like
that's
I'm
what
gonna try to
my
pre-order
thought.
through my GameStop.
Like they wanted to wait to build up the stock of it. I mean, if that's the case, that's what every developer should do. I mean, all these companies should do it that way.
But it's another thing because I mean, you're thinking like they want to be able to boast large numbers, but you need to have the numbers at launch to be
correct.
Like to boast it. And you're kind of seeing with some of the other games like that they don't have the physicals for like the Dragon Quest remake. Like they want to make sure that stock is not a problem with this game because long term it's not going to be a problem, but out the gate if you don't have enough copies there, it's going to sell out, and it 100% is. I
imagine. I mean, look, how long did we deal with the PS5 stock issues? Like 2 years. Yeah, 2 years or something like that. And so I mean, my guess is the first 6 months for the Switch is probably going to be Switch 2 is probably going to be pretty nuts.
Yeah, obviously this is rumored, but like if they have 7 million at launch, there shouldn't be a problem with pre-orders, but that's assuming like, hey, maybe you shouldn't limit it to online only. So you need to avoid the scalper market. Get back to pre-ordering in a store.
Right.
Like, yeah, you can have X number to pre-order online. And because I see some people talking about it, they practice it. I think we talked about it last week with like the clock. Like, hey, you can pre-order online, but you have to have a Nintendo account.
Right.
It's only gonna let you do the one to avoid the botting.
Yeah.
But I think also saying, hey, go to your local store, pre-order it there, will also alleviate some of the scalper problems because it really comes down to it's just too easy to bot a lot of the stuff online, like on Amazon.
Apparently, yeah.
So if you go back to saying, hey, physically, we're gonna have X amount in a store to pre-order, would alleviate some of these problems, which I think they absolutely should do. Like,
I agree.
X amount of these, you have to go to a physical store to pre-order and pick up.
Yeah, no, I agree. They should definitely do that Nintendo account stuff. I think because I think that would help fight bots. Obviously, bots aren't going to be able to make that many accounts like that. So yeah, I mean that's the biggest issue, right? For launch is obviously the bots and all that stuff. So I think that's a good move. So yeah, I mean, anything else you want to say about that?
No, it's good. I know as we had like Crash Zero saying, hey, you had Slave to the Mind there. He's asking about corn dogs. I responded to that one, but Mr. Coffee was saying about the 7 million, the US or global. They didn't say, but I'm assuming it's going to be global at launch. What? If the rumor's right.
Where's the corn dogs comment at? I don't know. Yes, pulled up. I just see. Sorry about that. Hey, Mr. Coffee. What's up, corn dogs? There, Lucas. And then, hey, Crash. Shout out everybody. Okay, so what do we got next? We've got Stellar Blade Nier Automata launching trailer. Did you watch this trailer?
I pulled this up, but mainly just because this game was back on Wednesday with the DLC with the Nier Automata.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten it yet, but 100%
is it Automata or Automata? I say Automata.
But pretty sure it's Automata.
I say, the first I just want to say the first comment under this trailer is I'm buying a PS5 just for this game. Anything with Nier is S tier.
Oh, 100%.
What a golden comment.
I know I didn't get the chance to because I was busy, but 100% I'm playing this game next week. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna. Obviously, the schedule is gonna get released Monday, but probably gonna try to stream this on Wednesday.
Cool.
Once I get out of work, and then because I got the next 2 days off, so I'm just gonna stream as much of this game I can that night.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I just rebought it today. I already
played and beat this game, but to have the DLC and some of the costumes and stuff like that, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely excited for it too. Can't wait. Just rewatched the trailer while we were talking about it.
And I did see people talking about it with some of the photo mode stuff. It was confirmed like photo mode works in even like cutscenes. You can pause cutscenes to do photo mode.
Who uses really photo mode though?
A lot of people.
Who?
You're not looking up Stellar Blade stuff on Twitter like I have it set up for me. I see a lot of A lot of people,
not.
using photo mode.
Yeah, and you got the jiggle physics, so that's in there, right? I don't pay attention to.
It's it's
stuff
quasi
like that.
costume dependent, but 100% of the game has jiggle physics, and I'm here for it.
Who thought in 2024 you'd be talking about jiggle physics? I mean, look, I think the game's great. I think it's really good. I think it shouldn't have got snubbed for at least being in the Game of the Year discussion. It should have at least been in the discussion. Would it have won? Probably not. I mean, Rebirth is such a good game. The problem is that Stellar Blade compared to a game like that's so freaking massive. It's just it's hard. Like, I love Stellar Blade. I think it's great. I just rebought it again for a second time. Didn't get to beat it, so I want to play through it. I'm really excited about this DLC. It's hard though when you got a game as massive and like triple. I mean, this is technically a AAA game, right? Wouldn't you call this, or would you call this a AA game?
I'd say it's AAA, but because this developer was working on mobile games, and it's the 𝐒𝐫𝐚𝐽 game that they made. This was their first actual proper console game that they made, kind of like Myth Wukong. These are like two new studios developers. This is the first time they're actually making like a console game.
Fair enough.
Not something that's kind of gacha related.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm definitely excited to get this back in. So hopefully it comes tomorrow. I'm looking forward to playing that next week for sure.
Yeah. I feel like this next thing would have been more relevant on the
day it happened
podcast.
Well,
we might do a shout out, but because it just happened this week. For those that remember back on Cartoon Network, 20 years ago, Hi Puffy Amiyumi premiered on Cartoon Network.
Hi Puffy Amiyumi show.
Same difference.
Had to correct
100%. Like, this is probably like the root cause of what actually got me into J-pop.
No, this is 100%. This and DDR. So I don't know if you remember back in the day, but there was like a collective of people that would play DDR on their computer on a keyboard.
Yeah.
So you would play. I'd see like Joey's brother playing it. There was this game called like Kissy Kissy. Do you remember that song? It was popularized
is that like an Usher song or something like that?
No, it's a Japanese song.
Oh, then I don't. It's not immediately coming to mind.
Look it up real quick and see if I don't know if you can listen to it without anybody hearing it. But anyway, that and this for sure, 100%. You are obviously Kraz, the manager. Classic show. I loved it back in the day, dude. Loved it. I thought it was great. It's totally random.
Oh my god, this feels like what's that weird Japanese Nightcore? This feels like early version of Nightcore.
I don't even know what I'm talking about. Is. No.
Where they take pre-existing songs and like make it like high pitched.
Change the tune. Yeah.
Like, this feels like early on. Like, that's what DDR is.
That came out.
It's a Nightcore version of a lot of stuff.
Middle school. I think it was in middle school, or when I remember hearing that
for this one.
First time. Yeah, I had on my MP3 player.
For had it on DDR,
a physical MP3 player.
Because I pulled this up, like this DDR Smile DK Kissy Kissy that I pulled up.
Yeah, Smile DK. Yeah.
It's got like 2.3 million views, but it was posted like 17 years ago, October 2007.
I was in middle school when I heard it for the first time.
Posted before we started high school.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
That's what I said. I was in middle school. I remember very well that period of time and that song. But it was that song and this
one, like ooh 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 or something like that. Like a really popular like DDR song.
I don't know, because I'm not like a DDR guy. This just happened to be a friend's brother was into it, so I heard it. It wasn't like a thing I was into.
I think this is like peak DDR. It's the Caramella Girls.
To look it up.
It's like a Swedish song that got really popular. It's like the peak DDR music.
I believe it. I mean,
100% you've heard it before, because they're doing like
the first thing that pops up is a furry. It pops up. I type in Caramella Girls and it's a furry.
That's not what came
Literally
up.
the first thing that comes up on Google.
No, because
for the
it's like a video posted
Wikipedia.
like 16 years ago. It's like 64 million views or something like
Okay,
that.
type in Caramella Girls on Google and see what comes up for you, because it's literally the picture. Internet phenomenon. The meme started as a 15-frame flash animation loop showing Mai and Me, characters of the Japanese visual novel Popoton, doing a hip swing dance with their hands over their heads to imitate.
Yeah, 100%. Because they're doing that.
But it's a furry.
It's a weird thing.
For the Wikipedia page.
But this is like peak DDR early nightcore music.
Yeah,
it reminds me of another band at the time.
The funny thing is, this is European. It's not even Japanese.
Yeah,
it says not like it's in Swedish.
It reminds me of Eurobeat, but that's not what
Stockholm,
it is exactly.
Sweden is where the studio's from.
There's another style of music that came to the US. It's like a cousin to Eurobeat, but I can't remember what it was. It was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what it was, like some of the bands that did it.
One of the lyrics from the songs translates to "I don't."
About.
Wait, what?
You're the music guy. You should know what I'm talking about. That European dance style music that came to the U.S.
Eurodance
in the 90s and 2000s.
Wasn't it just called Eurodance?
I think it is. It's yeah.
Type it in. I think it's just called Eurodance.
Are like cousins. They both split from like the same genre music, like back in the 80s.
But one of the lines from this song of theirs is "I don't want." It translates to "I don't want any balsamic vinegar after all."
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh yeah, that's good. I pulled it up. You have the right version. Barbie Girl is like the epitome of the genre music that I remember.
Yeah, I just remember there was like a
sorry, not Barbie, but the band Aqua as a whole.
Aqua,
Barbie Girl
yeah,
was a really popular song. But yeah, so was the Vingay Boys or Vinja Boys, however you say that name. I can't remember.
Vingay Boys.
You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm trying to say.
I don't know if I do. Oh boy. Some of the things we get
like
into
yeah,
here.
it's Crazy Frog is another style of this music.
Oh god, please don't bring it up.
I mean, talk about something that's iconic, like the early 2000s. Because you remember that music video?
Listen, though, what's funny about that is RGT just tweeted about that yesterday. He put the image of the Crazy Frog. You can pull it up on his X account. He just tweeted that. He said this was the downfall. This was the start of the downfall of society. Was the Crazy Frog? But I mean, ring, ding, 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 ring, ding, ding, I don't know. I thought it was pretty annoying myself.
No, but like the Vingay Boys, however you say their name, because like the most popular one you're thinking of is like the boom, 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 boom. I think you in my room. It's been the night together. You know exactly what the song I'm trying to say.
I don't remember that one, legitimately. I don't know. But I mean, I just remember there was like a whole community of people that played DDR on their computer on the keyboard. I thought it was wild.
We're going a whole rabbit. Yeah, because it's like boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Let's spend the night together from now until forever. Does the boom it then? I want to go boom, boom. Let's spend the. Essentially, it's a song about sex, more or less. Like, let's be fair.
That's what it sounds like.
It's such an iconic song that you listen to like as a kid. Like, oh yeah, that's really catchy. Not knowing what the actual song's about.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God, yeah, we went down a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Hey, Puffy Amayumi to let's just talk random Euro
bands
from like the early 2000s.
I love it. So we got Sony is in talks to acquire Kadokawa. Is that how you say it?
I think it's
Kadokawa. Sorry,
Kadokawa, yeah. And this was more relevant because a subsidiary of Kadokawa is the developer is From Software.
Oh yeah,
which means
I saw
Sony would then own all From Software games,
which would be wild. That'd be crazy because you got to think like From Software is not just doing the Souls games. You got to think Armored Core. You got to think the RPGs and stuff. Like they do other stuff. Look up From Software and their catalog is massive. Like they do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because you got the
new Armored Core just came out. What, this year or last year?
Yeah, some of their older games like Echo Knight, like Eternal Ring.
Obviously, we talk about the GameCube games that we like a lot. What is it? Lost
Kingdom.
Lost Kingdom, yeah.
Which, just because I saw it because it was on this article, IGN gave it 5.9.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. I
love the crap out of that game.
I do too. I like the sequel too.
Sucked at it.
You probably did. I like the sequel too, though. I think it's good. But yeah,
Hey,
no, it should be
IGN Lost
interesting.
Kingdoms 2 was 6.2.
Oh wow,
in
it's like
2003.
incrementally better. I think the
yeah, it was
whole
back when
point
IGN would
2 and the
actually give
point
games low
1 and
scores.
like those whole the point, like how do you even that was always the dumbest scoring system ever. I even knew then. How are you giving a game a 6.4?
I'm assuming they're having like
6.5.
5 to 10 different criteria that they're grading, like a 1 through 10, and then you're just getting like those half numbers. To be fair,
I don't know. Are they though?
if you're like a 4 or 5, a 9, you're not
Are
going to
they
get a whole
doing it
number
that way
when you
though?
average those together.
They actually
I assume
do.
that's what they do.
I don't think they do. It's IGN.
I mean, to be fair, IGN is known as the set. They don't give anything below a 7 at this point. Everything's
They're
a 7. or a 6.
scumbags. If you ask me, I'm sorry. I said it.
Yeah, IGN's trash.
Yeah,
It's trash.
garbage.
We don't care about.
Let's
about
be
the-
real. All these games media are trash. The only people I trust are people I watch or I know aren't sold out by some corporation or they have some skin in the game for it. What's up? Yeah, facts, 100%.
I mean, they're just like
facts.
it's like legacy media as a whole. They 1 foot out the door. They're on their way out. They're not going to be around much longer.
Man. Games media sucks, dude. Just watch your favorite YouTuber that you know isn't sold out to a company.
Well, I mean,
trust
because of social
them.
media, you can get all your information directly from publishers and other people in the industry.
You don't even have to go to another party now to get your news.
You can just go around directly and go to the source, which is what probably one of the few good things about social media, on top of like the 100 bad things about it. But
truth, that's the truth, man. All right, so we've got Bandai Namco is making a big change to its online operation. So it looks like Bandai Namco Online and Bandai Namco Entertainment will merge in April of 2025. The merger it's a weird merger. Both Bandai Namco.
It's like they're bringing everything under one umbrella. Like I don't know how much this is going to affect, but it's was gaming related.
Yeah,
so everything's going to become under one umbrella between Namco Entertainment and Namco Online. I don't even know what they really do, to be honest.
Well, it looks like I'm trying to see what Bandai Namco Online does because I'm curious.
Probably deals with like their online specific games.
So like the Gundam games, Gundam Breaker, stuff like that, Blue Protocol, bunch of anime games. To be real, all the screenshots
it's like
I'm looking at are
games.
Yeah,
they're like a whole separate studio that probably worked on them.
Yeah, so it looks like more than 14,000 people in the video game industry have been laid off in 2024. So it looks like this is going to cause some more layoffs.
It's a possibility. When you merge stuff under one umbrella, you're probably going to see some layoffs.
Bandai Namco developed a free-to-play Gundam Evolution team shooter, which ended its service in November of 2023. I don't know if it's done anything since. The announcement of the impending dissolution comes after Bloomberg reported it in October that Bandai Namco had already started to cut its workforce. I mean, fair enough, I guess. But they did just launch Sparking Zero, which was like huge success.
Huge success. But it doesn't mean that they're as a whole, they're not hemorrhaging money somewhere else.
Yeah,
because I mean, Bandai Namco is a really large company. They develop a lot of games.
Yeah, I'm looking. Tekken 8, Gundam Breaker 4, set to release Fate Extra Record, Little Nightmares 3, and Sin Duality Echo of Ada in 2025. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Went over it, and just because I know there is an audience there for it. I'm not playing Fortnite. I'm never going back to that game. I played it at launch and I didn't care for it. But apparently, there's rumored that the MonsterVerse Godzilla could be coming to Fortnite. How that's going to work, I've got no idea.
Well, he came to Dave the Diver, so
yeah,
he's coming to something else too. I just saw it. Oh, Super Monkey Ball. We didn't talk about that. It's coming to the new Super Monkey Ball. I tagged you in it.
Oh, I may have missed. You tagged me. We tag each other in a lot of stuff, and sometimes
we do tag each other in a lot of stuff. Yeah, he's coming to the new Super Monkey Ball. How it's working exactly, I don't know, but there was a screenshot for it. You can look it up. I'll see if I can find it real quick. But yeah, I don't know that's gonna. Man, I don't know. I do love Godzilla though. Not gonna lie, I haven't played Fortnite since probably like 2019 or something. Maybe.
I played it the month it came out. So whatever that was.
Yeah, I didn't play it for a while.
And I only played it the first month it came out, and then I just dropped it. I didn't care for it.
He's just going to be... Hatsune Miku is also coming to the free 2.0 update next week. So Godzilla and Hatsune Miku. Godzilla's really collabing with a lot of stuff here lately, isn't it?
Godzilla's like, what, 70 feet tall? Like 700 feet tall?
Did you look it up? What it looks like? What Godzilla looks like in Super Monkey Ball? It's hilarious. He looks like a little toy. It's funny. He's smaller than some of the other characters, which is wild. He just gets...
it's like a chibi version of Godzilla, essentially what it is.
But it's still cool. I'm not going to lie. Which I still haven't picked up the new Super Monkey Ball. I literally just picked up the last one that came out on Switch probably like 6 months ago or something. So I just hadn't picked it up yet. But yeah, I always like the Monkey Ball games. Monkey Ball takes me back to the GameCube. It takes me back to a better time. It's just like
that's where it started, wasn't it?
That's where it started, yeah. It just takes me back to the GameCube days. Every time I played that one that I was just talking about, I picked up like 6 months ago. Freaking loved it.
Is that Banana Blitz for the Switch?
Yeah, Banana Blitz HD. Yeah, that's the one I picked up. I haven't picked up the Banana Rumble, which is the new one, but now Godzilla's in it, I might have to snag it.
Did you play that originally when it came out on the Wii, the Banana Blitz one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've played Super Monkey Ball. I played on the DS, played on the 3DS.
Here's the real question. Did you play the Japanese import of Banana Blitz?
No, I did not. It's
on Amazon right now. You can get it for $78.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that one. That's a lot of money, man. Sorry. It's 2024. Can't afford $78 for Monkey Ball. I'll buy it when it's $20 though.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you go over there and buy it for like $20.
I mean, to be fair, I waited until I found this one for $15. So, I finally picked it up. Now is a new one. But Godzilla's really taking over a lot of stuff here lately. So it's kind of interesting to see. What do we got next, Mark? I got to move this broadcast.
Yeah, no, we had some rumor. I mean, PS5 Pro just came out, but we already are starting to have some rumors start to circulate as far as the PS6 and some of the hardware that could potentially be in it. So there's this was posted that I saw by at Pirate Nation over on X, but it's getting some information leaked over via a message board called shiphell.com, which looks like it's either a Chinese or a Taiwanese message board. I don't know which one it actually would be, to be fair.
I was just gonna shout out. We got a comment. So Fortnite is crazy now. They even have a Guitar Hero type mode. I know they sold those new guitars for the PS5 and Series X just for that mode in Fortnite. So.
Yeah, because it was this was also reported over by Gamerin as well. But essentially, they're saying no more RDNA 5 codename. So apparently they say no more RDNA 5 codename after RDNA 4. It's UDNA. That's the code name apparently. Sorry.
UDNA?
I guess. So they're saying the MI400 and the RX 9000 are using the same UDNA name. So the architecture that they're using, the GCN like ALU design. To me, I have no idea what these actually mean, to be fair.
Yeah. No, I don't either. But I mean, does it sound good?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The UDNA gaming GPU tentative plan 26 for Q2 mass production, which, I mean, considering you're probably trying to launch this in another 4 years, you're probably early on in the development of trying to like figure out what you exactly want and starting to make sure the hardware comes together.
What I will say is this better be Zen 5 because the CPU, that's the one problem with the PS5 Pro is that they didn't upgrade the CPU. They upgraded the GPU, but there's no CPU upgrade. So
your bottleneck CPU isn't
it's sort of bottlenecked a little bit. But they should have upgraded. They should have upgraded that, and then
probably cost too much.
It wouldn't have been obviously resolution. We would have been talking about the frame rate here. Could have jumped up in a lot of games.
Yeah. Because usually when you upgrade your GPU, your CPU those both matter. And you want to upgrade them both together.
Yeah.
So you're not bottlenecking one or the other.
Right.
But yeah, they're saying it'll either be using the Zen 4 or Zen 5. It's nothing
because we have Zen 3.
As far as this leak goes, they didn't know which one they were going to go with yet.
Right.
They're saying the Sony's handhelds will also use the AMD hardware, so they're sticking with a AMD style of hardware,
which
for the PS6.
Fine. I mean, it's fine. Obviously, you know.
I mean, it's either
NVIDIA or AMD.
Yeah, you're picking one of the two.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
to
it's
be fair,
fine.
they're usually pretty equivalent.
Pretty
There's, like,
equivalent, I would say.
minor differences. But that's kind of like all the leaks we got. And obviously, this is a leak. You're still realistically probably at least another 2-3 years out from this even getting announced. So who knows how accurate this is, what can change. But I mean, the fact that we just got the PS5 Pro, and then a month later,
this makes sense, though. I expected that. I expected the week that the PS5 Pro came out, because if you think about it, like, look at like the PS5 or the Switch Pro. They were talking about the launch week of Switch. They were talking about the Switch Pro. I don't know if you remember that, but you go way back to that launch. They were already talking about the Switch Pro.
But to be fair, the only time Nintendo really did those midlife upgrades was with the DS line of handhelds.
Yeah, it was. It was always with handhelds. I mean,
you
there's
never really saw
nothing
them on
else.
main consoles.
Like,
it kind of showed you had the OLED, but that's just a new screen. The hardware.
That's the biggest thing for a console I think that's ever happened, because you just look at, you got like the SNES Junior and the NES Top Loader. You get like these just redesigns that are cheaper when the next console is already out, so they make a redesigned console. There's no,
because really it was only
there's no midlife upgrades.
Yeah, like the Game Boy Color, which is a significant difference. But outside of the handhelds, their main console is like one console.
Game Boy Color is a different system,
doesn't really change.
It plays different games. Yeah, it's not just, it's a different system, bro.
It is
more powerful. More powerful.
That's like the only proper midlife upgrade they really did back.
It's not a midlife upgrade though. It's a new console. It's a new handheld.
The sales are still lumped together for the Game Boy and the Game Boy
Yeah,
Color.
that doesn't make any sense to me, because it's a different system. Plays different cards. Never understood that.
I mean, the 3DS and the 3DS play different cards. It's the same thing essentially.
No, it's not. The 3DS is way more powerful than the DS. Are you kidding me? You're wild, bro. This guy's on something tonight. All right, so we got next here. We're gonna talk about Stalker 2 a little bit. So hit a big milestone, just launched this week. Obviously, I got the chance to play it for about an hour. So I can talk a little bit about it, but it sold over 1 million copies in under 48 hours, reaching the top sellers list on Steam and drawing in Game Pass players. Despite its success, the launch faced bugs and glitches that are worth some. So here's the thing about this game. This is like Fallout, right? Like, this is a massive game that you can play ongoing for a long, long time. This isn't like I beat it in 40 hours type of game. This isn't that type of game. So there's gonna be some bugs. It's an open world, big, massive game that you can play for 300 hours, right? Yeah. So we expect that, because I mean, you look at Bethesda, they're a massive company and they still do it, you know. I mean, I'm not a game developer, but I imagine it's probably pretty hard, right, for such a big game of that caliber. Anyway, I mean, huge milestone on that. So I got about an hour to play it.
I mean, what, in like 2 days it's already outsold Dragon Age Veilguard?
It's crazy. Fair enough. Which, by the way, I saw it for $20 on GameStop's website today. I got a tweet about it. $20.
Yeah, because nobody wants the game.
Game just came out. Game just dropped. How long ago? Like a couple of weeks?
Like 3 weeks ago, I think.
3 weeks ago.
Earlier this month.
$20 at GameStop. I mean, you can fact check me. Go on X and look. Got the tweet. But yeah. So what I got to play with it, what I kind of got the vibe of it was, it's not a horror game, but it's got this horror elements because it deals with Chernobyl. Essentially, it's called Horror Chernobyl. So you're dealing with some of the like creatures that, you know, animals that have gotten into the radiation and have mutated and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
the 1 hour that I got to play with it, you got some horror-esque vibes, but it's not a horror game. That's not.
How so close to like the Metro games would you say it is? Because that's like
I would say it's pretty close. I would say it's pretty close.
How it plays.
Yeah, and how it plays, and like the whole vibe of it, because it's not a horror game, but it's got, you know, you got mutated monsters, stuff like that are kind of out and about in the open world. It's very interesting. It's very fun. Looks good, plays good. I didn't notice any bugs in the 1 hour I played. Didn't run into any bugs. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good overall. I mean, I recommend it. Am I going to play more? Yeah, I think I want to play more of it. I think I'm going to dive into it a little bit. I don't know how far I'll get, but I think it's pretty good. So,
I mean, yeah, that's good. I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to ever playing it, but I mean, it's
on
good
Game Pass.
that people enjoy it.
It's on Game Pass, so you can.
A lot of games to play.
There's a lot of games to play.
It's not like wanting to play; it's more of like having time to play. That's the problem.
It's very good though. I mean, especially like I said, I played it on Game Pass. Thought it was really good. So I mean, I definitely recommend with what I played. But again, I didn't get to play much. It's a big, massive game. They even put out a tweet like this is an ongoing game. It's gonna get continued support. There's gonna be more stuff coming. There's gonna be bug fixes. You know, bear with us type of deal. They put a whole tweet out about it. So. Any thoughts, Mark?
I mean, I feel like I said everything. I hadn't played the game, so there's only so much that I could say about it. Unfortunately,
I mean, are you going to play it?
Probably not. To be fair,
oh man, come on.
There's a lot of games to play. There's so I gotta like pick and choose.
No, I get it. So we got this one. I don't understand at all. Mortal Kombat 1 fans aren't happy about new Tanya skin. So. This one's a little weird, because they gave Tanya like a black skin, so I don't really understand it. Looks like NetherRealm Studios added a new skin for Tanya in the fighting game, but the fandom isn't happy with the design. The cosmetic is supposed to be modeled after the aesthetic of Mortal Kombat 2, so it just kind of goes over it. It's like a whole, I don't know how I feel about it. Says recent Mortal Kombat 1 leak has teased possible festive skins being added. I haven't played Mortal Kombat 1. Do I really care at the end of the day? No, I don't care about how they change the design of the character I'm not playing. To be fair, I'll say this. It doesn't look like the other skins that I saw some people posting under this tweet. Looks nothing like the older design for the character. It doesn't at all. No, I was looking through kind of some of the stuff there, and not at all. But something good we do have, Metroid. We can talk about some Metroid Prime 4. So there was a whole thing that went up on the I guess Metroid websites essentially. Metroid Prime 4 does have a confirmed release window of 2025, which I think, here's the thing about that. I think we already knew that.
Yeah, they announced this like months ago.
Yeah,
this is not new information.
But people are acting like this is brand new information. But it was like a chance to sort of talk about Metroid Prime 4 some more, because I know we're both hyped for it.
At this point, all we're waiting on is, are we going to get a 2 and 3 remastered?
Which are we going
to get?
I would love to get, because I would love to replay those games and get refreshed on everything that happened, because I can't remember everything. I played too many games,
and
bro.
Then forget the second, third game. Like, come on, they don't need the exact same treatment.
But you can't forget Hunters, or you can't even play Metroid Prime 4 without Hunters. You know what I mean?
Can largely it's Hunters can be ignored.
God, here we go again. No, it's not. It introduces all the Hunters.
There's no story to Hunters, characters. It's essentially non-existent.
What, like 6 characters that introduces?
And to be fair, 4 could properly give you the backstory, and you'll be fine. In the mainline games, the only Hunters characters is the very end of 3, from what I remember.
Who?
With Silex' ship.
Oh yeah, I mean, cause yeah. It's been so long
at least
since I
all
played
the
it.
Hunters ones, largely not in 2. It's not in 3
but
for the most part.
Which Hunter were they talking about was going to be part of 4? Like one of the main villains, the one that turns in like the. Is it
the one that because it teased at the end of 3, and we know for a fact he's in 4. He's in the trailer.
Yeah, he is in the trailer. You're right. Yeah,
I've had to say, like, we've known this for a while now.
No,
we've known this since like
I knew it was one of the Hunters.
Since like the Wii era when 3 came out. Like, let's be fair.
Yeah, it's been so long since I played those games, though. I'd love to replay them. Yeah, especially when they look like Metroid Prime Remaster. That game looked beautiful, man, on the Switch. on such limited hardware.
Hard. It's just not worth their time. I don't think it would be popular enough.
I don't think so either,
but
unfortunately.
Of all those, only one. But you don't even really know a whole lot about 𝐒𝐤𝐚𝐥 in that game, other than
but what they could do.
He's another not a hunter, but a bounty hunter that's taking part in this event with 4. But it's just like a standalone story that has nothing to do with the greater Prime trilogy.
Yeah, no, I'm just sitting here thinking about, kind of what this game has been so long in development that I don't know, like the way that Metroid Prime Remaster looked, it looked great. It's gonna look very similar to that, obviously better since we're talking about Switch 2. Yeah, I don't know. But it's not really news. But it was going around everywhere just because that website went up. I think it's just. Well, to be fair, I think the thing is because we're not getting any news about it, so it's like it's another reason to bring it up. I was gonna say,
like, if you've ever been a Metroid fan, like that fandom has been so starved for like.
We had Dread in development for how long?
Any ability, anything to latch onto is going to make news for the Metroid IP as a whole.
It just doesn't get enough love, and unfortunately, it just doesn't sell. So it's just not a priority.
I don't think it's marketed well. To be fair,
is it marketed at all? I can't ever remember a Metroid commercial.
Prime 1 had a really good thing. The problem with Prime 1 and Prime 2 is it's on a console that didn't really sell all that well. At the same time, it's competing against the original Halo game, which does the same thing, but far better, far more popular with the multiplayer aspect.
I don't know that it does it better. I think it just does it in a different way.
No, I just think Prime came out at the wrong time on the wrong console to be uber successful.
Yeah, GameCube was ultimately a failure. So, I mean, that was the thing. 1 and 2, it just didn't sell.
And the problem with 3's on a highly successful Wii. But I mean, there's a lot of games on the Wii, and a lot of people say like, "Oh, it's 3. Well, I didn't play the first 2, so I'm not going to play it."
Yeah,
those numbered games tend to have that problem.
Yeah,
to be fair. Nope. Especially since the story of 3 is technically tied to 1 and 2, even if it's barely. There is a continuing story there.
Yeah, there's 100%. I mean, it starts right after 2, right? Doesn't it pick up right where 2 left off?
I believe the Prime trilogy takes place after. It's either between Metroid 1 and 2 or Metroid 2 and 3.
I think it's between 2 and 3. I could be wrong. The whole Prime thing is weird because of how it's set in the series. It's like so early in the series.
Yeah, so you've got Metroid 1 / Zero Mission. Then you've got Prime 1, Hunters, Echoes, Corruption, Federation 4. That game doesn't exist. And then assuming Prime 4. So you got the Prime trilogy. Then you've got Metroid 2, Metroid 3, Other M. Then it's Metroid 4. Then it's Metroid 5. That's the, official timeline of the Metroid games.
Metroid 5? You mean Dread?
Yeah. So you have Metroid 1 / Zero Mission, Metroid 2, Samus Returns, Super Metroid, Metroid Other M. It's not a mainline game, but
I didn't realize Other M was so early in the series too.
Then it's Fusion and it's Dread technically. If you don't know the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Mainline title games.
Yeah, I always thought it was weird. I would love to see Metroid 3D more, later in the series. I would love to see that at some point.
I guess technically looking back, because Prime 1 technically came out just right around the time or just after Fusion. So in the established timeline of 1 through 4, it doesn't really fit anywhere else between really 1 and 2, unless you wanted to put it after. But I assume that wasn't the original plan. Right. Dread was supposed to come out next. Around the Wii era.
It was we knew about it in 2005 or something crazy.
Yeah, so I assume when they actually needed to slot in a timeline, I believe it doesn't make sense, because I think the only gap is between Metroid and Metroid 2. Once you get to Super Metroid, it's pretty much like a straight into a Fusion, and then Fusion kind of goes straight into Dread from what I remember.
Did you ever beat Dread?
No.
God, it's such a good game.
I haven't got around to actually beating it, but I already know how the story ends. So
good. You gotta play the game though. It's a game.
No, it is a fun game. I just never got around to beating it yet. I haven't played it in probably almost a year at this point. It's at least 6 months. It's been a hot minute since I played the game.
I was sucked into that game when it came out. I could not play anything else until I got to the end. couldn't beat the boss until the easy mode came out, essentially. I could not beat it. He was impossible. I'm telling you, impossible. The way that people do it are crazy. If you look at YouTube videos, it's wild.
But all I know is if you ever properly look into the Metroid, like watch an actual like 2-hour-long video or hour-long video, like on the Metroid timeline, it hinges on you having read manga related to the first 2 games and pre-game 1 and 2. Because until I believe Metroid 5
because you really didn't get any story beats in 1 and 2.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Until you get Dread,
or
story is directly
beats,
to 1 and what happened to it, especially with Samus living on the
kind of like
the
Zelda
Chozo homeworld. For the longest time, that her background, that Chozo timeline, especially with 1 and 2, it's tied to manga that actually properly tells the story.
It's like Zelda.
Which is the problem.
It's like Zelda in that capacity, because 1 and 2
isn't directly tied to the manga.
Well, I mean, you gotta read the manga to really get the story. I mean, because have you played Zelda 1?
Yeah,
it's just a free roaming open world game.
But to be fair, Zelda 1 and the OG Metroid came out on the same console around the same time, so they.
I mean, you're just working with limited hardware, so like, and they didn't know it was going to be an on-running series at the time. They had no idea. Yeah. So
it's just a top-down adventure exploring game that you could put on a NES.
Just a fun game. All right, so we got limited run games. Let's team up with GameStop. It's kind of breaking news. Just came out earlier today as of this recording. But GameStop's going to bring back retro titles. We talked about this a bit before. Some of the popular titles include Jurassic Park, A Boy and His Blob, Trouble in Bloblonia, and Worms Armageddon. Limited quantities will be available, so fans should act quickly to secure their copies before they're gone. I don't like that part of it. I don't like the limited copy
games. That's their niche. But I guess the idea is hopefully moving forward, they do more partnerships with GameStop as far as like releasing their games physical.
Yeah, we got 16 games
the one thing
right
that always
now.
Sucked is you have to pre-order on their site, and if you miss it, that's it. You're done. You have to go to scalpers essentially. But if they also release it in a store, at least even if it's for a limited time, for like all their titles, I think some of these games would sell far, far better.
No, I think so too. One of the good things that limited run games does now is that they have an open pre-order window, so you've got an open gap of time. But if you don't pre-order in that time, which is usually like something like 3 months or something now.
Yeah.
So you got like a long window of time.
And then you have to wait. You're waiting.
You gotta wait a while for
like 9 months, 6 to like
collector's
6 months
edition.
To a year.
That collector's, I waited 2 years for Scott Pilgrim.
That's way too long. Hopefully they fix that. To be fair, like if it's an open pre-order, they need to have the pre-orders and so they know how many copies to make, especially like if the collector's edition.
Yeah.
If they're not just hard capping it, they want it to be open, then they have to
manufacture
stuff.
Yeah,
they're not manufacturing like some of like the models until they know exactly how many they need to make.
None of it's manufactured at all until after the pre-order is over. So that's the problem.
Why it takes so long.
The collector's editions is the problem. Not so much the base games, but
yeah, that's just a disc and a box art. That's far easier to produce.
Yeah. And so I think it's good. GameStop's got to do something, right? Because
I think this is like the right way. I think for both limited run and for GameStop, this is a way to drive people into a physical store buying physical copies, and I would assume to make more money.
Yeah, they're even doing some of the Game Boy Color games, the Game Boy games, NES game. So like some of the actual like physical carts that they do, they reproduce some of the SNES carts, NES carts, Game Boy, stuff like that. So I think it's good. I think it's good. GameStop's got to do something, man, because digital only is right around the corner. We're looking at the next couple of years. There's going to be, but I don't know that it matters. They don't have to do anything. Look at PC gaming. They're just going to adapt to it.
Yeah, but the main problem with that is that eliminates any possibility of backwards compatibility, which I think is the biggest problem with.
I think that's where they want to go. It's more digital sales.
Will it actually sell? Because we already know physical versions of PlayStation sell far more than digital only. Is there really an appetite for people to want to go digital only, or do people still want the option?
There's not. No, there's really not. You look at the PS5 digital sales compared to the physical model. with the disc drive built in, you saw those sales. I mean, the sales are like
70-30 essentially.
Yeah,
like 75-25. Like it was hugely in favor of the disc drive.
And you're paying more for the one with the disc drive, so like people want it, like $100
especially with
more.
it being backwards compatibility. Plus, it gives you the option to buy physical and digital. Like I just think it's
the thing is
unnecessary decision.
Yeah, the thing is with the physical, like you have the option of after you beat it, you can sell it and get some money back. You also have the option of, oh, I'm going to buy this used. I get it significantly cheaper. You also have the option of sales that happen way more often than the digital sales and are typically way cheaper. Look, like I'm getting Stellar Blade today for $50, which I wouldn't say is still even a great deal. Like the 40 would have been a great deal, but like you don't see that with the digital in that capacity. It's like 10% off, something like that, 15% off.
The publisher wants to do essentially.
It's whatever they want to do, and it's never good. It's never a great sale. You look at Steam sales. Steam sales are great, but you look at digital sales on consoles, they're not good. They're not good. A lot of
people that have Steam, they have other consoles usually. But to be fair, I think another thing that's going to cause problems is I think it started in California. It's going to spread elsewhere. The fact that you have to say, hey, you're not buying this game, you're buying a digital license.
Yeah.
That alone is going to cause discourse and problems when the next console
Well, I mean, you look at
digital only.
Like how iPhone had to adapt now to being USB-C because of the European laws and stuff like that. Because they're a lot stricter and more user-friendly. What's the word I'm looking for? Consumer friendly. I mean, like, because they are
user friendly consumer. It's the same thing.
Yeah. So,
well, because the idea is just you. The whole purpose behind USB is the universal usability.
Yeah. Right. Correct.
You're trying to like make everything. It's simpler on the user part, and to be fair, some manufacturers they don't have to make 2 or 3 different types of ports on their motherboard.
And Mr. Coffee said, Mortal Kombat has a problem just retaining interest. People dropped it fast. That's why I didn't grab Mortal Kombat 1 yet. I'm waiting for like a $20 sale because the game just doesn't look great and people aren't saying great things about it. So he said OG DS and updated DS was a good hop. Yeah, you jump from the DS to the DS Lite. I mean, the screen was way better. Form factor was better. Felt more comfortable. Well, I don't know about the feel more comfortable part, but the screen was significantly better. So I didn't have a DS Lite until way later.
The hardware. The only problem with the Lite was they got rid of the GBA slot at the bottom.
No, the Lite they didn't. That was the DSi. DSi. That was the one where it had the. No, DS Lite has it.
Let me pull up a picture of it.
Positive. DSi does not have it. That's the one where it had the eShop. DSi Wear Shop, whatever they called it. I have a DSi and I don't have a DS Lite. I have a DSi, it doesn't have a GBA slot. That's Mark Research.
I'm reading stuff that the DS Lite can't play backwards compatibility.
100% positive. Raptor said DSi was still great. Yeah, DSi was cool because it introduced a shop on there, so you could buy digital games.
I guess you're right because there's I'm seeing covers for the.
Yeah, it came with the slot cover.
I don't know.
He's like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Did you have anything else to bring up for this week, Mark?
No, unless you had some physicals you wanted to go over real quick. Some pickups.
I didn't grab anything. Pickups. Did I have any pickups? They haven't came yet.
I guess I technically had a few.
Okay. All right. Show us off your pickups. I'll double check to make sure.
So I talked about it and I let you know, but
yeah,
the Godzilla -1, the 4K steelbook came in the mail today, like a few hours before we went live. Probably gonna do. I mean, it's not a whole lot for like an unboxing of something like this, but I might do a quick little video on this. Just because there's like an extra poster and some stuff.
Yeah.
Just because this is like the first Godzilla movie that I've ever owned physical in my life. So, and I love the movie.
It's a good movie, man. It's a really good movie.
The rest of the stuff is stuff that I picked up when I was down at a bookstore this weekend at Barnes & Noble. So I've got another volume of High School DD. This is volume 14. So I'm slowly collecting all the light novels of this. I'm still missing a handful.
That's a light novel, not a manga?
I've got a few of the manga. They didn't have any ones I didn't have, but this is the light novel
Oh,
version.
okay.
It's originally a light novel, to be fair. So,
okay.
I know we talked about this. I don't know if it was on this podcast or the Anime Junction cast, but you know the Dark Souls Redemption manga that we talked about.
Yep.
I haven't played the games, but I picked up the first volume of
that's
Redemption.
badass.
It's the Humanity Lost.
That's cool.
Because it's a manga, but there's also some like neat artwork and stuff on the back.
Oh, nice.
Drawings and signs, stuff you don't usually get.
That's pretty cool.
Kind of neat.
That's really cool.
And then if you have seen the Anime Junction cast, it's make a lot more sense. I got the first 4 volumes of the manga of Dandadan.
Nice.
Because I don't want to get ahead of this season of the anime, but 100% I'm probably gonna start reading past it once it stops airing in the fall. And just fully read up on the manga because I absolutely love this anime. So they had the first 9 volumes, but considering it's like $12 for the first 3, and then it was like $10 for the 4th one, and everything else that I picked up.
Yeah, that's cool.
I already spent like $110. I didn't buy all 9 like I wanted to, but
they had 9 of them. There's 9 volumes out.
Volumes 1 through 9.
How many volumes are out?
I'm not sure. That's what they had.
Curious how far the manga is in here as we're getting people pouring in.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I've got to Google it. Because it's being done via Viz Media.
Raptor said, better screens but no GBA slot. Mod it and play the GBA games there anyway for the DSi. Yeah, I've got my DSi. It's covered up right now though.
Let me scroll down. Okay, so there's in English, there's officially 11 volumes released.
Okay.
So it probably makes sense that volume 9 was released back in October. So, no, sorry. There are only 9. Volume 9 released in English on October 15th. Volume 10 comes out December 17th. Volume 11 comes out February 4th of 2025.
Okay.
So there's only 9 volumes in English. But as far as like volumes as a whole, there's like
71.
There's like 100 there's like 170 some volumes.
What?
Over in Japan for this already out.
Dang, this is a long running series. I didn't realize it was that old.
Or no,
177.
No, sorry. There's 175 chapters of the manga out there.
That's a lot of volumes, man.
In Japan, volume 18 comes out in January. So there's still a lot of volumes out. Sorry. I corrected myself because it started airing
because it doesn't seem like it's an old series like manga wise either.
No, the manga started in April 2021. Like it's not super old, but usually if it's like about a 3-4 year old manga, it's fairly popular to get picked up that quickly.
Yeah, especially now. There's so many anime that get announced.
That didn't seem right. Let me go back and.
All right, cool pickups, man. You got anything else that you want to bring up for the week, or?
No, that's the only stuff that I had.
All right. Well, everyone, I definitely want to transfer you over to the Anime Junction cast because we got some cool stuff over there if you're interested in anime, manga, Japanese culture, any of that. What is it?
It's a nice little segue.
And definitely give us a follow on social media on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X, all the big socials, Blue Sky now. We're on everything. So definitely give us a follow over there. Stay updated on the podcast. Stay updated on Game Junction, Anime Junction Cast.
It's going to get published when we publish our stream schedule 100% next week. I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday. I will be streaming the new DLC for Stellar Blade.
Cool.
Like a week late, but I'm going to stream that next week.
Sweet. Yeah, I don't know when I'm going to stream yet because I kind of wanted to play that, but we'll see. I'll figure something out. I'm not sure yet. But we are streaming. If you're watching live, our live viewers, sorry for the audio listeners, but we do stream every Saturday together at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tomorrow we are playing Age of Empires 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Age of Empires 2. So got Mr. Coffee in there saying, great show, gentlemen. And also thanks for the stream. Have a great weekend, guys. Appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. So definitely tune in tomorrow for our live viewers. It'll be fun. I haven't played.
He's gonna have no idea what he's doing.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
A little bit of an idea.
I'm like kind of nervous about it, to be honest with you. I'm a little nervous, Wish I got here earlier. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate you coming in, though. Definitely, for sure. So we'll be live again next Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Game Junction Podcast, and we'll see you all later. Everyone have a great night.